Stream. How kind. Oh, I got the apple. Put that away. For now, we'll have to return to the apple in just a bit. Featured content. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, yo! I think I'm going to do probably like a 2-hour-ish stream, so I'll just play games until enough people show up, and I'll switch over to replays. I don't know how many people will show up because it is a lot later. You should already be asleep. 11:11. That's a good time. Oh, I need to join my stream just in case evildoers show up, as they are wont to do. Okay, so I should do some quick turns until it's a quick turn. How's that looking? That's way too big. There we go. I could skip this cap to pressure these caps. Although there's a tank there, so that's probably not so good. Do I want to interrupt over here? Oh my gosh, we got options. Tank is covering this, sadly. But what I can do is just sit on this city, in which case... Yeah, I don't think I'm skipping a cap here. Maybe. I could skip for going to go over here. You're definitely going for this capture. Move you forward. I think I'm okay with going for this. You just move forward here. I do have double tank here. It makes me want to go here. Interrupt here. I am coal, so this... I think this is the most annoying interrupt. So I'll go for that one. Oh, I still took the chip damage. Cole let me down. What do I think of Andy versus Max in high funds? Andy has a rough time. It's not impossible, but I would much rather be Max. Much better for Max, I think. I'm not a high funds god. So you can ask a true boss or one of those guys. Zukil would know. But Max... I know in high fog, Max just destroys Andy. It's not even close. So I imagine in high funds it's very similar. Ooh, I think I might go here. Here. We are going to skip that one. I think this puts on a lot of pressure, which I like. And the double tank against the one tank It's gonna force a copter by. And then the recons will still be wreaking havoc. First. Well, it also depends if there's comm towers, but Max with super can one-shot stuff, so it often doesn't matter. Like and Max, of course, gets the super really easy. I mean, you can look at, of course, copter. Aw, all your copters be dead. And then it's your fighter. Your fighters are dead. Your bombers are dead. Your mega tanks can die on planes. If they're on road trying to do mega tank stuff, they get one-shotted guaranteed. I don't think the fighters one-shot, do they? No, fighters barely don't one-shot. Oh, this is without the comm tower. My gosh, it's so broken. Oh, you guys gotta hopefully see most of it. Yeah, that kills Mega Tank against Mega Tank with super. That's on road. That's on planes. That's with a comm tower. Of course, copter versus copter, everyone knows, absolutely annihilated. Anti-air kills everything. There's no stealths in high funds, but they hit pretty hard. Neotank versus Neotank. Almost kills. On road you'll have a chance. So it's really tough for Andy. Alright, what happened here? Attacking me? So rude. So rude. Trying to retreat to some mix. It looks like I get this stuff, which is nice. I can use my power. My power. Well, I don't have a comm tower, so I imagine my power won't kill a mech in one shot. I mean, it'll do a lot of damage, though. Take that guy out in one shot. Probably just rotate over here. 5, 6. Keep capping that. I think I do use my power. Tree here. You just reveal it with my artillery. Take it out with the AA probably. Sami cheese is always fresh. It's a bit of an overextension. Getting a good smack there makes sense. I could actually just block. And then the reveal and kill here is a little awkward. We can do this to try and get some vision of this tile. There's nothing there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I like diving in over here. Diving in down here is getting really close to the bases. This. tank back here. Okay. Start capping these. Might go for that. It's very tempting. Just finish this guy off. Helps a lot. Just leave this stuff alone then? Don't quite kill, but you'd kill the friend. You... Okay, so we can take out this guy in the woods. I assume. We should double check that. Do you one-shot an infantry sitting in the woods? Without power? You do. Rockin'. Alright, we're starting to build up some viewers. Once we build up a few more, I'll switch over to replays. Be very cautious here. You out. Block here. A cheeky wrap around. Probably dive in over here. Up to you to hit this guy. Like so. And I have double tank strike there to kill that. Okay, you. You and you join cap there. That leaves these guys for something to do, or actually just these two. Am I sure there's nothing in the? I think I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure there's nothing in those woods. If there's something in those woods, that's something I can deal with next. Take this guy out. Finish him off. Join that. And I can either take this out, take out this recon. 5, 6. 6. I'm not super scared of this tank. Don't like the vision, so I'll take that out. We'll just take this guy out. Just super stop this from getting interrupted. Tank around. 2, 5, 6. 5, 6. Doesn't quite cover this guy, so I think this is better to cover this guy. Have another anti-air tank and recon. I think there's not much left, sadly, for Lord Frogneros in the way of infantry. Been getting mowed down. But we'll see. Just powers are so good, they're basically max powers. We're at 11 viewers, we're almost there. Oh, our 95 game. Okay. I'm gonna take my comm tower. I've sacrificed so much to keep that comm tower. Okay, tank backed off, and that fresh tank came in, and then it's just lots of infantry. Recon went up there. Okay. So, think we definitely go for this attack. I think I finish it off though. If I do it with the 7 health and just repair this guy. You guys are covering down here. I want the recon to reveal threats over here. There's probably something in these woods though. Also use it to take out this tank. Just reveal like this. With this smack, it's pretty good. These two working together. Sure. Okay. Pretty good. There's probably not an anti-air over here. Okay, that's a 2-shot. I will take. There was an infantry there. Like this. Nah, I don't want to go through the woods. Okay. Probably just keep my anti-airs nice and happy. Send infantry up there, send infantry over here. I've spent so much on repairs. I can't do that though. I could do a fancy 2-shot. Oh, never mind, this kills anyway. No, it doesn't. Just hadn't updated. 7 health. What of you guys over here into this forest? There's been many, many kills of copters. I've killed 16 copters. This has a chance of killing. I should probably go for it. Already. Go for that one. Don't really want to get so close though. 5, 6, yeah. I know there's at least one infantry over here. I have to keep track of. We're still repairing our big boys. So this is a nice city to put you in. I think we put you in this city. Put anti-air here. And then probably recon. Almost out of ammo on my anti-air. Yeah, I definitely need another recon. This guy is in trouble. That's not really a role worth going for. Although I'd love to get this double kill. Although I don't think even from a city. Yeah, never mind. That doesn't even kill from a city. Not without powers. So we'll move you forward. could... That's a little greedy. That's too greedy. That's in... This is somewhat doable. I think that's just asking to get absolutely punished, though. Kill this guy off. I don't think I need to. I think we just go into that city and work our way down here. 1, 2, 3, 6. There's an infantry over here, but I don't know if I really want to send my AA to hunt it down. And there's no way it's going to find a copter on its own. So maybe I just keep it together with its buddy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, I can go here. And the 2 tanks can go for it, but then they're not going after my other tanks. And most importantly, the Neo tank covers it. Action. Okay. I spent half my money on repairs. I've killed... With that one, we've now killed an equal number of infantry, and I only have 2. And 95 at least has 5 left. So 95 should be down 5 factory vehicles in comparison to me, which I guess is kind of what it's checking out to be. That music, though. That would be as a horrid trade, but I have enough. I'm thinking I have enough support that I can kill the things that go after my my anti-air. Oh, this will be a fast turn. So, kind of think. If Tordred is thinking about going with the recon opening or not. It's kind of the meta. I wouldn't be surprised. Why not? Copter spam. Copter spam is good. I mean, 95 is not necessarily out of it. I think 95 still has quite a few copters. And right now, there isn't the ground force around to protect them anymore. So 95 just has to build up that ground force. There was a tank in these woods. It did not know what was coming for it. The sheer number. There we go here. Press the assault. I placed that wrong. I should have had someone at range to guard this, but it's okay. come the anti-airs to support the medium tanks. There's a tank over here. I should guard that spot. Do a bigger retreat. Turn. Very meaningful. Got 15 viewers. Let's do some more quick turns and then I'll switch over to replays. Comm tower. Let's try and interrupt that. Smack a smack. Here. And many infantry. Probably here with I could block the city, but then this infantry could block me from guarding my poor recon. I could just let the tank hit me first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But then I can't actually guard myself. Tricky. Maybe I don't sit on the city. I guess this infantry is already threatening it. And if I have the tank here, it's already threatening it. 6. Let's go here with the tank. Gonna run with the recon for now. There are, of course, infantry over here that need teaching what's what. Just kind of fall back. There we hit this guy, but it's a little risky. I'll lose this guy for nothing. I don't get my tank because of the repair cost. That's funny. This tank doesn't need backup right now. Which I can just copter instead. Cars? Did I say cars? I might have. Oh, this is another fast turn. It's day 2. Easy peasy. question is, do I... Nice chain over there too. I think this is better. Is it better to go for this and double cap these, or to finish this one first and then go for this one? I think it's better to double cap these because this base is a much stronger base for infantry than this one, so I want this one sooner. I'm gonna fake going for this corner property. But my real plan is to move this guy on here and start capping, and then this guy goes here. They do say there's a on the Discord they'll announce it inside like general chat or global league chat, I think. Some card channels use the same music as me. They might have the same source. I'd be amazed if they use all the same music as me. Because it's not like I'm taking from a single or a single creator. Garfield, you're not immune to propaganda. I have the secret sauce. It's in my description if you want to sign up for the same music library. My poor recon! My poor recon! Wow. No respect. Then bringing artillery? Who said artillery were allowed? Not I. Bringing artillery into the fight. I'm actually just so insulted right now. 4, 5, 6. Don't mind me. Can't go there, can I? 2 tanks kill this? Infantry? No, wait, with a comm tower. Maybe. If they high roll it. No. Don't mind me. I have no sneaky intentions. None at all. I'm very innocently moving that transport copter over there. There's not a sneaky bone in my body. Oh. I can't go for that. That is beyond greedy. I am not going for that property. Not going for that one either. I just wanted to check if it was taken. I think I probably already knew that. Imagine stream sniping. You heard they steal music from people. I have not heard that. Let's see here. Always join cap cities. Definitely go into the woods to help protect the tank. I could go for this. It's the least greedy of all the options. There's a tank that could hit it. I'm at 32. Lost 4 recons. We'll try going for this one. I'm not going to go for that one. That's way too greedy. This one is very possible. The difference here is that the reinforcement routes for units goes like this and like this. So this is out of line of the reinforcements. So it's harder to just kind of get vision on it without committing something. Where this is constantly going to get vision on it. We'll just go here. Go with our tank. You thought Forest could hide units in non-fog? That would be so good. I wish. It's so hard to trap stuff in non-fog. You have to use stealths and like subs. Viewers, okay. Take that. Very awkward to fight this tank. Lock it in with our 1 health infantry. You over. Guess I'll hit you. Start rotating some of these guys over here. So sorry. My lander apologizes. It's trying to get away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think it can't. It might get there with 1 fuel if it doesn't get trapped. And if it doesn't rain on it. If you're a live lander. I should actually see what my opponent did. The lander went up, so it's going around. Just kind of held the line over here and retreated. Sure. Well, I have no reason to press in, other than it would be just so cool to wipe it all out. But that's not a very good reason. Did I kill the infantry over here? I don't think I did. Well, while the middle is kind of stalling out. Yeah, there you are. Punch you down. The lander went up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. As long as we block those 2 tiles, we're good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess I could go here. Fine. Prepare! Stuff like that. Well, Drake's normal power drains fuel too. They're not long-lived copters. They're copters that got hit by a Drake super. Just base skip for a tank here. I only have 2 tanks. They need lots of them. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we can just retreat to our artillery line and be totally fine. I don't really want to fight that stuff. It looks nasty. Yeah, we'll move you back. Here. Tank coming around. Which is fine. It's just kind of I want an artillery here so it's overlooking this city. Maybe kind of just like, where do I move this infantry? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You want to hit that copper? You can. I don't think you will. Move you, we move you here, we can move you here, we move you here. So move you here so you can heal. And then I think we can just move you down here because that doesn't quite work because you're not covered by the mech. You can move back here though, covering everything very nicely. So then you can move down here. I need to move you back so that you can heal next turn. Just put you there. And then I'd like to have the full health infantry sitting on the city. So a vehicle has to move into range of the artillery. You're totally fine where you are. And then we have to do a base skip. Very sad. The song hits hard. I'm glad you like it. You must overextend. It is your destiny. It slaps. Okay, I'll switch over to replays now. We got 19 viewers, so it says for me. So that's a pretty good number to start covering people's replays. So says I. I'll be doing a few replays. You can check the description for the queue. Game. Hi. It's always messing with my chat thing. Be boat and save the lander? I might. That would be pretty nice. So we had 2 new submitters, and they always get priority. Right here. Ghjjf versus Just. I think this was sent in by Ghjjf, who I'm going to call... I guess I can just keep as Ghjjf, unless there's some sort of pronunciation there. Then your replays are in the queue. I'll have to add them back in. I think that's because I covered yours recently. I haven't put one back in. Bow tie on. A more formal simul that people can just sign up for. It should be in the sign up as far as I know. As one of the things you can do. You'll be able to select 1 of 5 maps to fight me on, and the tier that you would like. And the only timer rule is that you should complete your turn before I get back to your game. I'll be moving through the games as soon as enough people sign up, it'll start. It seemed to be like 3 hours to do 5 people, so it might be a day of all day long. I don't know. If like 20 people sign up, that's going to be all day. But I don't think 20 people will sign up. Anyway, we have Jake versus Grimm here. Good night, Zeronius. I think this probably favors Jake, just because Jake has a much better super, but I could see Grimm getting something done with the normal power. Oh my gosh, that is a very, very fast mech. Which I'm not a huge fan of. It is kind of timed to jump into the black boat, which is good. But it's costing a fair bit in the way of captures. Like the infantry that was built here could be going for this city, or it could be going for captures over here, or you could build a recon instead, which is what is usually built to be aggressive over here, which is what Just is doing. Okay, now this is really awkward because now it's not a great timing because the harbor's kind of occupied. So in this case, what I would have done is not gone for this capture with this infantry. Instead, you walk to here and then you go for this harbor capture so that you could pick up your mech and infantry that you buy for next turn, and then you can go for the capture on this harbor after that. Here comes the recon. Now, Grimm recons hit really hard, but your units will also hit Grimm units. Your own recons will hit Grimm really hard. So it kind of works out. First strikes are king. Ooh, going for an APC. I like the transport plays. Usually if you go for APCs, you want to go for them as early as possible so that it can accelerate your capture game as much as possible. The later they copter, and the transport copter can fly over all this water to go straight into the middle, which is really good. But we have you probably want to boost here and then pick up this guy next. Hey, very nice. A boost, by the way, is when you hop into the APC and then immediately hop out, because unloading is a free action in Advanced Wars by Web, and we call it a boost because you get pushed a single tile. You're boosted a tile. And that lets this guy be put here, and then this other guy will be able to be put into the APC, netting quite a bit of infantry movement overall, in comparison to just like leaving that guy in here and then moving him next turn. Ooh, a very aggressive Grimm recon in the center. Usually, the fast recon hits down here. And I like the Grimm copter. If you're against Grimm, you should probably expect some fast copters, because the copter versus anti-air dynamic doesn't punish Grimm for the lower defense, and it just lets the copters kind of have more damage, since anti-air is just one-shot copters anyway. You don't send the recon so close to the bases. Usually no, but in this case it's not as deadly because of this really annoying mountain. You can't like come straight down to it. You have to go around, and that involves forests. So I would not be surprised if this recon's real goal is to go into this forest and it has some sort of route where it scouts over here to see what's going on, and then goes into this forest, which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 always has vision over this base. A very nice hit over here. This is something I also make mistakes on, but in general in Fog, you really don't want to leave your infantry next to a city like this. You want to kind of place yourself. It's not going to matter here because you don't have like a tank or something, but you really don't want the recon to hit you from a city, because you do less chip damage back, and if you had like a tank around, you wouldn't be able to hit really, wouldn't be able to get the kill on this recon. Where if like the recon was forced to hit you from the plains, you do more chip damage to it, and a tank could easily kill it. It also makes it a lot scarier for the recon to go for the hit. Not so much on this map because there's like no way a tank would be up there, but in general, recons are not going to be as inclined to hit your infantry if they have to hit you from road or plains in comparison to hitting you from a city. That's just good to know. Ooh, we have a nice boost. So this isn't quite a boost, it's a little transport, but it's setting itself up to pick up another infantry immediately. Could have gone a little farther. The idea is that this infantry was placed just in perfect range to go for this city, so the APC is as available as possible for other infantry to use. And the recon has been spotted from the mountain, so that is that's definitely a danger of putting this recon here, is that it could be spotted from an infantry on the mountain. But the recon spots, they see each other. Would be a really bad move to charge in here. I would much rather move away straight down and then over into the forest to try and make it look like I'm going down here. And then just sit in this forest and get my nice free vision. And potentially come out and harass stuff. Instead, it goes over here to try and protect this capture, which I guess is okay. I'd prefer the free vision. This is a really strong spot. But I could understand being worried about this. This poor infantry got trapped here, but that's okay. It has backup. Okay, so it's always a little risky to fight over here with their infantry a little too exposed. It's not going to quite punish. It's going to be, you know, a brutal fight because this infantry is going to be able to hit from the city. And that will result in being a positive trade for Grimm. But at the same time, it is injuring Grimm's most forward infantry, so it's not like it's a bad trade. It's only going to get really bad once the vehicles show up. And those vehicles are just barely out of range right now. So it's okay. I like that Ghjjf is camping on this comm tower. The comm towers are very contested on this map. So trying to prevent your opponent from getting them is very good. Looks like another player has gone for anti-airs. You can see this is a Grimm copter, so it does more than a regular copter, but copters aren't super scary to recons like tanks are. So you can kind of get away with placing it here. And this gives really good intel for Jake, because now the copter's revealed itself, and you can also see that Grimm is now going for the comm tower, and you have lots of force, and Jake has lots of forces on the way over there. So they now have a really good target to fight over. Okay, that's where the trade works out very nicely for Grimm, is to kill this infantry, and if this infantry sticks around to fight, it's going to start turning really bad, because the tanks get involved, infantry can finish it off after the tank strike, and then this guy just starts taking the city with tank coverage. Okay, here comes our first anti-air. That's good. Grimm can almost get away. Well, can definitely get away with using more copters for anti-air than other COs, because Grimm copters can just easily one-shot other copters. Oh, actually, oh no, the Grimm can get vision with this tank. I was gonna say, actually, this is safer because Grimm doesn't have vision of the city, but this tank can get vision by going here. So this anti-air, I think, is a perfectly fine buy. It can also very easily deal with infantry on cities, but I would lean more on building just tons and tons of copters as Grimm, because your copter versus copter first strike dynamic is really scary. More mechs. I'd be happy with more mechs from both players. Can't rely on just mechs though, so have to be a little careful. Ooh. It's a very aggressive hit from Grimm, but Jake is not quite set up yet to deal with the copter, so it's okay. I think that's probably safe. Mech those black boats. Okay. I think Grimm is a little too cautious down here. Might be scared of a copter though, which I think is fine. But could very easily take this city. I can understand being really cautious because you just hit over here with the copter, but it's kind of like, why did I send these tanks over here if they're not going to take the city? Especially once you see that, once you see multiple tanks, I think now is when Grimm's going to start attacking, because it's pretty clear that Jake has invested a lot over here, so there's not going to be a lot over here. Grimm could also have been scared of the probable mech. Oh my gosh. The Jake aggression. Well, this is going to hurt a lot as Grimm can just clear all this up. If all you've seen on your opponent's side over here, well, I think pretty much never would you want to attack with your infantry like this onto going past this like threshold. You can kind of attack around like this into the center, but this is just asking to get gobbled up by vehicles. You can kind of like look at, what do I have in this general area, and would 2 infantry and a mech do well against this? And the answer is no. No, it would not. We'll see what Grimm does with this copter, though. Oh, I see what happened. So Jake's trying to stay out of vision. The problem is this copter doesn't fully guard this tank, so Grimm might go for an attack like this and make Jake really, really sad. Much like didn't go for the finish off. That's fine. Wants the city instead. I like it. Does indeed hit from here. Copters don't benefit at all from terrain stars. They just always have 0. But it's always better to hit closer to your army in comparison to your opponents anyway. So this tank just a little overextended and gets punished for it. Falls back. Recon gets some damage. Okay. Drop off another infantry. You gotta be really careful. Okay, I'm not quite sure what Jake's army is doing. It's really, really far back, which is not good. Pretty much the only time you want to be really far back like this is if your opponent's army has been like really heavily pressuring you and you think they might overextend. A general rule in Fog is if you have the vast majority of your funding in units in one location, that's just going to be either equal or stronger to any force it runs into. So it has no reason to really be scared. Respect for the lab. Hey! Maybe jumping in. I would like to see Copter go in first here so that you take less retaliation. That's kind of one of the classic 2-hit combos. Hey, we get the roll. Is Copter plus tank. Specifically in that order against tank, because tanks hit copters for much less than they hit tanks. There's also the fact that because copters die in one shot to anti-air, you don't care as much about them getting chipped down, because a 9 health copter dies just the same as a 10 health copter against an anti-air. But I like the blocking that's being done here too, to try and stop this anti-air from reaching this copter. And here comes the Knuckle Duster, so the extra damage is going to be able to allow this breakthrough, and then this tank can reach the artillery, which really sucks. Luckily, there's still quite a few units backing this up. Ooh. Sends the copter in. So you can do that. It's fine to do that. This is with full knowledge of this anti-air being here. And pretty much the claim is, your anti-air is going to kill my copter, but I have enough stuff around that I'm going to be able to kill your anti-air after you kill my copter, and it's going to be a copter for 6 health tank and anti-air trade, which is very beneficial for a copter. And now the AA is overloaded. It does have 2 targets here. This is a little risky to do. What did this copter kill, though? We went after a 2 health infantry. He's probably fine as long as a tank can cover this. Probably 2 tanks, so this guy's going to need to get in range. There we go. That makes it a lot better. Because otherwise the anti-air can do something like take out this copter instead, and that's a lot harder to punish. All your stuff's farther away. Ooh, we have Block Rock here. Jake is down a lot of units. Part of that is because like 4 of them died right here. And the anti-air got, or not the anti-air. The Grimm copter got a lot of work done over here. And then also Grimm just used the power. And a pretty scary attack. So I think this tank is going to die. Ooh. So if you have to choose between which tank am I going to use to kill this tank, it also depends on what you want to do. Do you want to go after these guys or not? If you are going to go after these guys, then definitely use this tank because its only vehicle target is this guy. If instead you're deciding you want to just attack over here, then this makes more sense because this tank can hit this city to interrupt. Bam. Okay, so we did kind of a mixture, and then this guy came down here and didn't interrupt the city, so that's a little weird. So if that was your plan, I would much prefer if this guy went after this tank, and then both of these tanks got to be used down here. Because now this guy just didn't get to attack. Which feels bad. And that just comes down to you want to use the units with the least number of attack options first, so that you don't get those, you know, like cannibalize your kills. But that was a pretty strong attack. It's not enough to make up for the amount of damage that Grimm did, but it has the potential to kind of sweep the top left if Grimm's not careful. Okay, looks like Grimm is going to go in for the bottom right now. Doesn't want to deal with the units up here. And this anti-air didn't die, which is really, really good. It can now kind of escape. Grimm's targeting down the infantry. This is really annoying and a very effective strategy. If your opponent doesn't have very many infantry in the area and you take them all out, it doesn't really matter if you end up losing it because they can't capture your cities. Are copters sufficient to swarm down a Grimm Neo tank? You can, if you have a lot of copters. It takes, well, against a Grimm Neo tank, it probably just takes 2 copters to seriously hurt it. A single copter will probably take it down to like 7. And a 7 health Neo tank is still a Neo tank. Once it's like a 2 health Neo tank, then it's not as much a Neo tank. This is not a great attack. This is kind of betting that your opponent, with their main army attacking in here, did not bring an anti-air of any sort. So it's more of a desperation move, I guess. A gamble, one could say. That really hurts. So what happened here is order of actions. Right now, this tank is able to be attacked because this anti-air is providing vision. So now is when you have to hit with the tank. I make this mistake all the time. What happened here is Ghjjf wanted to hit this tank from the planes first to clear that infantry, but then loses vision while doing it and doesn't get the tank kill because of it. Very common mistake. Everyone makes it. Just something to keep note of in the future. Yeah, late. Saturday's always late. And I'm only going to do 2 hours, so just a few of these games. And then it's Advance Wars versus tomorrow, which should be fun. This is a very strong attack, and it's backed up by a Neo tank. It's actually backed up by 2 Neo tanks. So if you're Jake in this situation, you're like, what do I do? This attack is like absolutely brutal. It's so much stronger than anything I have. You just attack the other side. There's no way they can hold up against you when they've invested this much in an attack like this. And it's really, really good for Jake that they have this APC so they can kind of resupply infantry to this front after Grimm was targeting them down. Okay, I like getting the vision. Down here, kills the recon, that's pretty good. Definitely try and injure as many infantry as you can. You can also do that, that's fine. I wouldn't be super thrilled about killing off tanks. But if you're like, there's nothing over here that can really counter me, there's just this anti-air, that's fine. And it looks like it's actually true, not even this Neo tank in the fog can reach. Okay, so these guys, you don't send them down here. You see a Neo tank, you don't really want to send tanks to that. Where you send them is right over here. You need an anti-air to join them. So this anti-air really wanted to be on this city healing. I don't know why this guy's here. But it really wanted to be on this city healing. And then these tanks kind of slam into these infantry. Did people not have faith in Grimm yesterday? Okay, this is very greedy. You don't really want to attack towards your opponent's large army unless you think you have a larger army. You did not. I think Grimm could have had some trouble on that map, but it was very congested, and I did not notice the makeup of the one base, that one base side. Going to the comm tower will indirectly increase your defense. That's true. Overkill. Okay, so this is working out pretty well for Jake with this attack. I thought for sure Grimm would just kind of start stomping stuff. But overall, Jake's holding on nicely. It's a very nice trap against Jake. Okay. But I would definitely prefer if Jake was killing all this stuff and taking these properties rather than being over here. It looks scary. Okay. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 can't reach the copter. This would be able to reach... Actually, it will be able to reach the copter because this Neo tank can kill this. Very bizarre to me that Grimm is pushing forward here. Copter goes down. Grimm does some fighting over here with some more stuff in the back. We got triple Grimm Neo tanks. And then the Grimm bomber. So the nice thing about big vehicles for Grimm is it doesn't super matter when they're at full health, but he does a lot of overkill with them. So when they get knocked down to like 5 and 6 health, they're still hitting really, really hard. Grimm Bomber. Well, Grimm Bomber can do some things that other bombers can't do, like it can kill Neotanks on cities and that kind of thing. Powers. But it's definitely more squishy than everyone else's bomber. An AA, I believe, can indeed just kill a Grimm Bomber. Ooh, that was a nice pickoff. Poor Grimm infantry die in there. This is a very weird bomber move. I do not like that move. It just kind of reveals the bomber. I mean, it's not revealed right now, it's dodging the vision, but it's going to get revealed. Okay, here's the Grimm Haymaker response. It's gonna hurt over here. Now the bomber's been revealed. Ooh, very good vision play to reveal those forests and reveal all the tiles around the tanks. And then Grimm just has to come in here and do some serious damage. And yeah, Grimm's like, wow, I overextended a lot over here. Yeah, that happens. Okay. Oh, it's because there's an AA and a copter over here. That makes sense, yeah. Just sticking with the attacks on this side. And now the Neotanks don't really have a reason to stick around over here anymore. They get to move into the center. The AAs have a reason to stick around, though. There is a bomber. What time is the Go7 stream tomorrow? I want to say I was at 11, but I might be at 10. I don't think it's been posted. Has it? (1 p.m. Eastern time). So at 10. I will be starting at 10. My time. It was a while since I set it up, so I will be starting 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay. So Grimm's definitely in a very nice spot here. Got plenty of cash. Oh my gosh. I don't know about dropping off an infantry over here. It's a dangerous, dangerous land. We'll see how Grimm decides to capitalize on this. Grimm's really far ahead, but there's still a decent standing army for Jake. And Grimm units are really, really squishy. So it's always a possibility to blunder your army as Grimm against another standing army. We'll see how it goes. These Neotanks are definitely the prime target that Jake has. This tank has been on a very sneaky mission. Okay, a Neotank has somewhat exposed itself. Bomber revealed. We'll see how Grimm decides to cover up the bomber, or the Neotank, or if Grimm decides that this is just going to be a sacrificial Neotank to get rid of the bomber and just place like the fighter and the anti-airs in range to kill it off afterwards. And that looks like that is the plan that Grimm is going with. It's you can kill the Neo tank, sure, but then I get your bomber and then my other 2 Neo tanks. Oh, we got Mega Tank from Grimm. That I don't like because it's going to take forever to make it to a fight. That is such a weird attack. Oh, it does still get the kill. I would have thought you just send the bomber in and hit from the city, but fine. Okay. This one makes more sense. It's kind of keeping up the pressure over here. Where Megas are the worst. Okay. I do not like this choice of target. I understand what's going on here. It's the bomber won't one-shot the Neo tank, so I'll hit the Neo tank. Oh, it's because it's on planes too. I'll hit the Neo tank that doesn't heal. In this case, it doesn't matter, I guess, because the bomber would die either way. So I guess go for the juicier target. Could the fighter have killed the Grimm bomber? Oh, you're right. Just got the vision plays a little off. I think that's a reasonable mistake. I'd probably make something similar to that too. Because I don't really think of a bomber as giving me vision. Well, there is an upside to Grimm mega tanks, and that's that when they get knocked down low, they still can get a lot of those one shots because of how much overkill they do. But at full health, they're not great. Yeah, I think at this point, now that the bomber and the fighter got taken out so nicely, I think that Grimm kind of has an unstoppable push now. Up 6k. Yeah, it's a fine resign. So what happened here for Jake, is overextension down here with just the foot soldier army against what was most likely going to be some vehicles. And then in response to a scary push down here, instead of taking, like, just trading corners, trying to push down towards it. I'm sorry. But overall, I'd say it was pretty well played. There was some nice engagements, and there's transport usage that I liked. And this is the other new submitter. You forgive me, even if your ears don't. Thank you. And I do believe the submitter is JP. Yes, I assume so. We will turn into Cobalt Ice against Sami. Okay. Make this a little bigger. Not that much bigger. Fine, just like that. Alright, this is kind of a tricky matchup for Sturm. Von Bolt has got much stronger units than Sturm, but Sturm has perfect movement, which helps a fair bit on this map because there's these forests right here that all of your vehicles have to walk through. So Sturm just has a much farther reach with recons for sure. For tanks and other units as well. Especially if like the goal is to go down into this corner, and all of these forests that slow down other COs do not slow down Sturm units. So Sturm has I guess less, or how to phrase it, there's further reach from the bases, which means they can extend further before they start overextending, which is a serious threat. It also means it's easier for your opponent to overextend and not know it. Whoa, that was a base skip for double recon on day 4. That is a really weird opening, but I kind of like it. We'll see what that translates into. Usually I would just go for, oh my gosh, double base skip for an artillery. This is going to be punished really, really hard against Sturm, who almost always opens with a lot of recons. So you kind of need plenty of infantry to afford the interrupts that are going to happen. Yeah, this is going to happen. This is something that you should always expect against Sturm. And again, it's putting the infantry next to a property. You really don't want to do that. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, something we're going to note really quickly. Von Bolt has got 12 units. Nothing has died. This is the end of Sturm's turn, but it's 19 to 12 units. And that's a huge deal. Both because it's not even necessarily about the fighting capabilities of the armies, because Von Bolt's army is, it's stronger. That money has been invested into vehicles and they can fight really well. But what this means when you're this far behind, especially this early, in unit count, is that you will not be able to answer your opponent's threats on every part of this map, where, let's say Sturm matches you 1 for 1 in the middle. So Sturm has like 14 units here, you have 14 units here. That leaves Sturm 5 infantry to send to these corners and just take all those properties. It also means that Sturm is going to have much easier time with vision, because there's just more units to get vision, and Sturm is also going to have a very easy time initiating conflict, because the best way to do that is using infantry, capturing your opponent's property or capturing a contested property, and then having your other units back that up. What happens when you are very vehicle heavy against infantry heavy is that when they go to capture a property that you want to stop, you don't have enough infantry around to interrupt it. You have to interrupt with a vehicle, which exposes your vehicle to theirs. So they can set up really nasty situations that will start bleeding you of your unit value because you're down so much in unit count. And I imagine we might end up seeing that pretty quickly. As for Sturm, I do like opening with multiple recons. Copter's fine in my books. I would start transitioning into some indirects to fight Von Bolt. You really don't want to fight him in a tank-on-tank kind of engagement, because his tanks have much better stats. Okay, this is fine. I would prefer if this recon was attacking from this side. I don't know if it had the option to, though. Looks like it did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2. No, I don't think it did. It's acting like it does. Oh, it's only saying that because you'd have to go through the comp tower to do so. But when you go for an attack like this, I'd much prefer if the recon was on your side of the field rather than exposed completely to your opponent's army. as we see here, it's going to make a big difference because now this tank can strike it. Or if it was over here or over here, you could have attacked from the road, of course. It wouldn't get hit like this. As for this conflict down here, as Sturm, do not send these recons in. You want to just send in these infantry and send the recons to attack exposed infantry either on the sides. Usually, you can send one recon in to see what you see that's defending, but I'd much prefer to send the infantry in to interrupt the captures if you want to go for those interrupts. They're much cheaper. That's kind of what they're for. And if you want to stop this comm tower, then you need to build a rocket this turn. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there. From the city, it can deny this property, this comm tower. So it gets there in 2 turns. And then you can actually lock this down. This is very, very sad, Sturm. Recon cannot deny the capture. Okay, and then over here, as Von Bolt, I do like that the infantry are being used to interrupt this, but it's not going to work out great for Von Bolt because so many infantry have been skipped that there aren't extra infantry that you can use in combats like that. Combats like this, these guys are all you have to get captures, and once they're gone, which they're about to be, there's absolutely no more threat that Von Bolt can put on Sturm on this entire side of the map. I assume this infantry is going to walk over and finish this guy off. It didn't, which is a little weird, but that's okay. We have a nice join over here while being protected. So Sturm just kind of lets it go, which is fine. You could get a Sturm missile. Sturm can build a lot of units that other players can't, other COs can't really get. You can get a Sturm missile to shoot down Von Bolt copters. The really nice thing about missiles is that they are a self-sufficient indirect. They're the only self-sufficient indirect in the game. They have a range of 5 and a vision of 5. So you can just kind of have a missile in a forest, and it provides all the vision it needs to shoot copters. Now, for other COs, I would not recommend getting a missile at all. You can do it as Sturm, because your Sturm missile, for other people's missiles, you know, after day 1 it moves to here. Sturm missile moves all the way to here, and then it moves all the way to this forest, and then it moves to this forest, and it's already on the front lines. And for someone else to do that with a missile, it takes them like 5 turns. Maybe even longer. They don't really get over these plains quickly either. Yeah, a Sturm missile makes it to this forest in 1 turn. It takes someone else 2 turns to make it to that forest. So Sturm gets down here in like twice the time. They're in half the time. But it's totally fine to also not get missiles and just rely on AA. Your AA do skate through the forests, which is nice. I would, however, definitely start investing in some rockets, which Von Bolt is doing. And I would definitely start taking some captures, yeah. Sturm kind of just has a really large army. It's acting like it's really, really scared. And that's something that shouldn't really happen to Sturm, because the recons probably need some more recons, but all the recons you get as Sturm, because of having 8 movement recons, is really good. Should mean that you have like no vision problems, and you should know where your opponent's army is pretty well, and then you use that information to hit where that army isn't. And get a really nice advantage that way, especially economically. Like down here should be under a huge threat from Sturm. It's okay to just kind of make a group like this. You really don't want to brawl with Von Bolt unless you have a good number of indirects behind your units. Because Von Bolt is going to win in brawls, as you can see there. A very nice trade for Von Bolt. Yeah. Sturm tanks are really weak. Okay, I would not build rockets against Sturm, because I would expect Sturm to have a lot of recons, and they'll have a very easy time finding your rockets with the vision, and then they can also strike your rockets. And while Sturm doesn't hit very hard, when it comes to rockets, you don't have to hit very hard. They're very flimsy. Sturm can get away with building rockets early without really getting punished, because Sturm's rockets skate through all the terrain, and so they can find the really nice positions really quickly. And all of the units that wall for the rockets and get in the way are kind of hard to kill off. But like, that's somewhat similar for the Sturm, for the Von Bolt, that the units are going to be hard to kill off. But the difference is that to wall against Sturm's recons going after your rockets in comparison to walling against Von Bolt's recons is completely different. Sturm recons move like that. Like, they can hit your rocket from so many different angles that it's really hard to defend them. I will say, though, as Sturm, you really can't just give up this corner like this. I like the Meteor Strike. Boom. That's just a very valuable Meteor Strike. I like using Meteor Strike over the Super because the stat boosts that you get from just using a power is very effective on Sturm. And a lot of the time, knocking stuff down to 6 health instead of 2 health can still give you those one shots anyway. So the Super is often kind of overkill while also costing you more power. However, you have to also realize that you are against another CO with a missile-based power, so don't attack like this, where you like sent in your units, did some damage, and then filled in all the gaps, because you're just gonna get hit by their opposing missile. No, there we go. Like, the Von Bolt missile looks very scary here, and I assume Von Bolt's gonna get it. Maybe not. If Von Bolt just retreats, then Sturm will have gotten away with this. Wow. Okay, so Sturm did not get punished for grouping up like this. The next thing you need to realize is that when you're winning, yeah, you don't stick around. Because the further you go forward here, the more you're going to overextend closer and closer to these bases and get punished for it. So what you do instead is you go straight to the left and you take this comm tower and then you go for this corner. So you don't go straight back like this. You go like towards the weaker side of things. So the problem here is that these units are still clumped up for the Von Bolt Super. Luckily, they're not like in the fray, so they won't get like attacked while being hit by the super. But like if they went straight to the left, they would have killed this off, and the pressure taking this comm tower would be huge. Ex Machina is gonna do a ton of damage. It's almost a perfect Ex Machina. It just missed 2 units. So that hurts a lot, but it's also kind of fine because these units were really far back. So it's like your front line did get hit by the Ex Machina, but since your front line wasn't actually engaged in any combat, it gets to be okay. I like the rocket. I'm assuming the rocket's in response to Von Bolt's own rockets. Alright, Von Bolt's diving in here. Are all the Sturm recons gone? No, there's still 3. They just aren't really on the front lines. But then, like, this is not gonna hold up. Those are placed in tank range against Sturm. One of them is on the road. So they're not in vision, but as soon as one of these recons walks forward, they're going to be in a world of hurt. Oh, the medium tank barely holds. Okay, it's an infantry that spots them. Yeah, checks that spot. Gets 7 damage, even though it's a Sturm tank against a Von Bolt rocket. Rockets are made of paper. So you said that someone just said that they're surprised the match has been going on so long with all the base skips. And the reason the match has been going on so long with all the base skips, you'll see that Sturm is like 20 units ahead, but Sturm has been keeping all the units completely together. So the excess unit count isn't being used to pressure the sides, take these properties that Von Bolt would have no way of countering. Instead, it's just going to be used in a giant brawl like this, which Sturm should come out on top of, but it's more beneficial for having just a few really strong units if you're just fighting in a big brawl. Rocket got a shot. Okay. Kind of pushing forward and falling back. Lots of artillery here. So it's always really nasty to have to attack into artillery, and then those artillery are covered by other artillery. The defense in depth, which is really good. It makes it so you pretty much always have favorable trades. Oh! The invincible medium tank is sadly taken down. There, look at that. Look at the range of that recon. This is why you can't use rockets very effectively. It's so far away, it doesn't matter. It can still zoom in and get you. I'm surprised the Sturm hasn't used the normal power during all this to get extra firepower and defense. Must be hoping to get the super. And there we go. Both rockets go down. That's kind of something you're going to have to just expect if you build them against Sturm. Unless... Okay. Sturm used the super here. Unfortunately, it's a bunch of Sturm's own units too. That's okay. So it did more damage going for the super. Although less damage was done overall because it didn't have the stat boost for all those other engagements. The Von Bolt super goes off. Hits Sturm's rocket, but it does get hit on a city, so it's going to heal up. Bumble's pretty much dead here. You can see the tank has to be used to interrupt the comm tower capture, so it just gets shot for it. You don't like to see it, or you hate to see it. There we go. That's the phrase. Use getting picked off. This is the value. It's a 1 health infantry, but it can check a forest just like a full health infantry or a tank can. So there's lots of roles that inexpensive units can fulfill. Oh, that make them still very, very valuable. Providing vision is one of them, and being a blocker is another one. I strongly dislike to see it, yeah. Invincible tank though, 1 health, survives the 1 health tank strike, recon strike, infantry strike. And then newbie 112 resigns here. I think that's a very fair spot to resign. The bottom left is completely lost and kind of getting pushed back all the way to the HQ. Comm tower's gonna go down. GG, GG. It's not my replay. So definitely the number one thing I'd say for Von Bolt to work on is not base skipping, to make sure that you kind of keep up on the unit count. And then for the Sturm player, I would say I would like to see some more play on the sides, and also having more control of the vision, especially as playing as Sturm, so you can actually see where the opponent's army is, and not playing into missile powers quite so heavily. Okay, I can do one more game here before going to bed, and that looks like it's going to be Flareonpride versus Super 5125. Sent in by Super 5125, I do believe. On Caustic finale, Hawke against Sami. Oh. I would say Hawke definitely has the favorable matchup here. Sami is a tier 1 pick here. She got kicked out of tier 2. I'm rooting for Sami too. I think Hawke has a lot of advantages over Sami here. Mainly, most importantly, will have many tanks that can absolutely whoop Sami's tanks, with having plus 10% attack in comparison to minus 10% attack. The other thing is recons can be pretty annoying against, or for Sami to deal with. And unlike someone like Max, Hawke also has access to artillery and indirects to use, which are really good on this map, and really good against zoning mechs out. But, well, that's a very fast... I don't like this. It's a very fast mech for Hawke. The more meta thing to do is to get an artillery. The reason I don't really like this mech, and then we had to, because of the mech, we have to do a base skip for this tank. Because while this mech is going to capture this just fine at the same speed as an infantry does, all the captures beyond this are going to be slower. I mean, I guess I can go here and try and go for these, but these are kind of your opponents. The really large weakness for Sami is right here, which Flareonpride is very nicely built to tank already. And can just kind of... Okay. So you can just hit this if you want. I mean, I don't think you'll do enough damage to interrupt it because it's Sami's. But you can. I would also... I guess you can't really afford a tank without some serious base skips. So that makes this move not nearly as good, because it kind of just opens up the first strike, which you do not want. But the reason why this is a really scary spot for Sami is that these two bases have an overlapping immediate reinforcement zone for vehicles. So vehicles get built and they can like immediately strike each other constantly. And that's going to benefit someone who's much stronger vehicles. You're also going to be under a lot of threat of kind of getting overwhelmed by the vehicles and then having your base locked by an artillery. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's already in range. An artillery built in one turn is in range of base locking you. So you can't give up the any of this space. And when tanks are being used to kind of try and take that space from you, you have to answer with something, and usually you answer with your own tanks or medium tanks. But the higher and higher the vehicle tech gets, the more that plus 10% firepower that Hawke has is going to be interacting with that minus 10% firepower that Sami has. And it's going to start hurting a lot. This is a very questionable attack from Sami. I like this one a lot more. I think this is kind of taking advantage of the fact that Flareonpride's kind of left down here overexposed with no vehicle buys. This one, not so much a great attack, because 2 tanks can hit this very easily. And then you're going to be in a world of hurt, because now you're down a tank in the area that has very immediate control concerns. Because now if Flareonpride builds an artillery here, you pretty much have to build a medium tank or you're just going to lose your base. Artillery? No, just an infantry. So that's very good for Super 5125. That gives another turn to survive. And on the bright side of all this, Super 5125 has won both corners, which is very good. Okay. I guess this tank is going to go in and hit too. Ooh, Super 5125 is going for a very aggressive play over here, but this is in recon range. So now a tank has to be built to cover it. And there can't be a tank built, so this is kind of just a little overextension here. The medium tank is a very good buy. The main problem with this attack is this is going to trade this tank for effectively probably 6 health on tanks, because this can strike, and then these 2 infantry can actually just block this way. Actually, this guy can block the way, this guy can go for this capture. So this medium tank is not actually covering this tank at all. Okay. There was enough pressure over here to stop the recon from going here. It had to react to the city cap instead. Does go for this around here. Very fortunate for Sami that there is not an artillery built already that could just completely take this base. Oh, there it is. And we have a tank built down here. I think the tank would have preferred to be built here, because this one doesn't cover this recon. It's a little weird. We have double time, so this is going to let this infantry hit here. I don't think it's going to let it kill. Oh, it does. Wow. Very strong. Just need to flip the order there of which infantry went where. So that power let this mech free. Or not mech, medium tank free, which is huge. Otherwise, it would have had to shoot an infantry and base skip, which would be not great. It's also gonna... Okay. Huge question marks about attacking from the forest here, because that's actually in range of this tank. So, attacking from the city makes the most sense to me. It's out of range of this tank, it's out of range of this tank. You just kind of get a free shot, and then this infantry can hit this infantry from the forest. Okay. This is a pretty nice attack. This recon cannot quite wrap around to hit this, so very good. And then I like the pressure down here while taking care of this recon. This is going to be something that Flareonpride has to respond to. The mech buy here, that's pretty good. Nothing can break through to make your life really sad. Basically, if a tank and infantry could hit this and kill it, and then something sits on this factory or base, would be really bad for Super 5125, but that's not possible, so it's okay. Sure. Very sad existence for this mech here. Okay. Very weird that there wasn't a medium tank bot over here to deal with this medium tank, because that would be really difficult for Sami to fight. But as long as it's just sticking to this current composition, Sami shouldn't have too many problems. This medium tank is going to be able to hold its own very nicely. And there's still a really big threat down here of this comp tower falling. So you're going to need more. Yeah, definitely hit that. It's not going to get the kill. Oh, it is going to get the kill. Nice. And we're making tanks again. Okay. Okay, for some reason, okay, the medium tank got built up here, so it's guarding this artillery, I guess, or something. It's guarding this infantry. Sami almost got this comm tower, but it looks like Hawke is going to be able to hold down the fort. Medium tank getting a lot of good damage in here. I'm not a huge fan of this play, but it's okay. That just kind of dies to 2 infantry. This looks very aggressive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this artillery is in a world of hurt, but it depends on if Flareonpride uses the normal power here or not, I think. I can do it without it. It breaks through. Ooh, doesn't get the artillery kill though. That's pretty huge. And it's huge because artillery are one of the best units. I would say the best unit for repairing in a combat, because it can sit on a city, get stronger every turn, and still participate. Anti-air are up there too, because they can still zone while healing up. The nice thing here for Sami is that the mech was covering this, so it's going to get to strike the tank. This medium tank is still completely unanswered by Flareonpride. I think that's just because of the money thing. Sami getting control of both corners very nicely and managing to prevent these cities from being captured is paying off dividends in that Hawke is not quite able to afford big units to counter big units. And this Neo tank is really scary, because even a Sami Neo tank can beat up on someone else's medium tank. And this is much more of a fight that Sami would like to have. A fight happening near the two bases in comparison to these one bases that they're just immediately in range of each other with vehicles. Here comes the Black Storm. It's going to do a lot of damage. Almost immediately evened up the values. So Hawke was like 40,000 behind. And then after Black Storm, Hawke is just like 10,000 behind. So it's a 30,000 swing. Just the power before any attacks happen. Okay. Trying to wall to stop the Neo tank from hitting this medium tank, and very nicely placed artillery. It's a little exposed, but it's covering this spot, which is the most likely one for this Neo tank to hit this medium tank from. Okay, if you're going to do an attack like that, I'd prefer to have it before the power. Although it might not have worked out. I don't know how the healing was done. And that kind of thing probably happens after you've already done everything else. That's fine. So it was a really big swing. Now Hawke actually managed to get ahead in unit value and unit count. Which is good. Looks like we're just going to ignore the medium tank, go after the artillery. Which is totally fine. I think this is a very good Sami play right there. This medium tank doesn't really want to stick around anyway. Okay, the big units are grouping together. Cover each other. The longer this goes on at this point, the much better it is for Sami, because Sami has still managed to keep a very healthy 14 infantry count. Although that one does die, which is very sad. But like this 1 health infantry, this 3 health infantry, this guy should definitely kill this guy off. They still capture stuff in Victory March. Okay, this guy's gonna kill off. Never mind. It's fine. At the just like a full health does, which is very scary. And Super 5125 is getting very close to a Victory March. Probably should not start this capture right now. I would not be surprised if a Victory March is possible here, with like probably like kill and then Neo tank kill and then medium tank on medium tank, that kind of thing, to generate a lot of power. As for whether or not Sami would want to Victory March here, it's also a good question. This guy cannot just take the HQ and win the game, but this can take this property. More properties. I guess these guys cannot reach this harbor, so maybe Victory March isn't looking great. You can get this property with this guy. You can get this property with this guy. This guy can get this property. You get this property. Okay, I mean, you would get like 5 properties, but I think waiting a turn and setting up a better Victory March is also pretty good. Threatening to take a base like that, that's scary. This is also threatening the HQ. Although, I don't know what the capture limit is on this map, so 5 properties might have just won the game there. I'm not sure what the cap limit is, but it might have just won, yeah. It would have made this 27 against, like, well, it would have caught 27. I don't know if the 28 is the capture limit. It might be. Okay, Hawke gets another nice little trap over here. However, it's kind of not recognizing the the threat of Victory March? You need to kill this penguin? Or this infantry? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it just takes the HQ? Okay, well I think Sami just wins here. This guy just walks over and takes the HQ in a Victory March. This guy could do it too. And there's the elimination. So very nicely played by Super 5125. The getting control of both corners and managing to actually deny these properties was huge. It gave Sami a lot of income to help survive that mass damage that was coming in. So that was very well played. Hawke had some good plays in there, but I think his mech was a very questionable purchase, which hurt a lot of that early game tempo, and I think probably cost both corners. And then not I think it's understandable to not get this lock perfectly, but I like the idea of the lock. The artillery was a little bit late, but it's okay. The idea was still there. But not being able to kind of match big unit to big unit hurt Hawke a lot. But I think that was pretty well played overall. And I'm going to be calling the stream there. It was a short stream today, because it's Saturday and I get home late. But I'll be back in about 12 hours. Hopefully people will be there for Advanced Wars by Web versus the Discord event. We're going to be in voice chat on Discord playing games. I'll be playing a simul, which you can sign up for and have fun with. You predict an apple. There is indeed an apple. I will leave you with an apple. I hope everyone has a good night. I'll see you later.